Did you miss me? Hello! And I am back, bringing the shouting, bringing the energy, and more importantly, bringing the me to Racing Pals RP Series Season 7 with the pre-season races, a bit of a taster for what we are in for the upcoming season. We're here at Silverstone, the track that Britain is well known for. It's where the F1 is, it's where the GT is, it's where I think WEC still is. Maybe, possibly, sure. But I am here from my brief hiatus last season. I am back, I am shouty, I am husky, and as I have been called at least once before, I am the voice of Racing Pals. Once again this season we have the GT4s and the GT3 cars. The mix of power and aero versus less power, barely any aero, and some mechanical grip. Always fun. Oh, it has been far too long since I have been on commentary. If people don't remember, I was on the Bathurst stream not too long ago. I am back for RP Series, and this is more of a taster race for people to get an idea, get a go, face up to the challenges, and get a vague idea of the other drivers who you will see on track throughout this season. I'm still actually in disbelief. This is season 7. 7! We have done 7 seasons of RP series up to this point. I have commentated most of them, and I'm still as excited as that first race that I came to commentate for RP series. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling. You're sat there going, I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. No one knows what is going to happen. And the drivers, I'm sure, will be feeling it as well. We have new faces on the grid. We have faces who we will remember as well from seasons gone by, from endurances gone by, from everything. We have got, you know, the headline acts, as we would call them, of Thomas Jack, Pierre Moreno, Bingus McBongus, James Andrews, Robin Moe, Jurgens, not pronouncing a second name because he'll shout at me. And I'm sure this entire season that we will be going through together will be as impactful, as eventful, and as fun as the first. Oh, it's gonna be good. And I, myself, am getting very excited for it. I mean, you can quite clearly tell I've already had a long day in the real world. I've been airsofting. My legs do not work, so I am sat here currently basically working from the chest up, which is thankfully where my voice comes from. So, GT4s, GT3s, always fun to put them together. I'm here on my own this evening. No one else here, no one else with me, so it's me, my thoughts, and at some point we will get the obligatory Husky talks about food. That normally happens. Oh. Having my up. I'm just making sure everything and set for us go and attack this commentary as we always do. As the 5-minute practice session comes to a close, that wasn't long at all. I don't know if I was there for the full 5 minutes, probably not, but it felt like about a minute and a half, if that. My phone charger did not want to go in, so For those of you who are new to RP series, there is a little bit to go through, which we'll go through in this weight session. There are the two car classes. There is GT3 and GT4. GT4 is the easiest one to get your head round, at least it is for me to get my head round. GT4, one class, flag to flag, everyone's racing each other. GT4s get the first 15 minutes in qualifying to themselves. They get that, they can enjoy that. That is up to them to examine and have fun with and make sure they are posted the best for the race. GT3 is a bit different, as you can see on the side, on the screen, if you look, as that's just gone to that. Helpful, that really came at the right time. GT3 is split into 3 classes, Platinum, Silver, and Bronze. Platinum is the white number plate here, as you can see on Gary Rowe's car, marked as Pro in the game. Silver as being shown by James Andrews, who has not got any numbers on his car. James! We'll use someone else. As you can see by Toby Long, the silver class there. Silver, as it is, darker grey and white number. And then bronze, which is here, shown in game, being sported by Marek Krejci. Is the red number, the red background with the black number on it. That is the bronze class. This has differences throughout the season as well. There is victory ballast in play for the drivers, which I am just So, the victory ballast is as simple. It is based off of the league position in the drivers' standings for the drivers. If you are first in the Platinum Championship, you get 30 extra kilograms. If you're second, you get 20. And if you're a third, you get 10. That is halved for Silver. So from 30, 20, 10 to 15, 10, 5. Bronze has no ballast. They are not subjected to it. GT4, I also believe, is not subjected to it. Oh. The point system is a 16-1, going 16 for first, 13 for second, 10 for third, then further down 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 into 10th, and then 1 point for finishing. A DNF and a DNS did not start and they did not finish. Opposite way around, not respectively. Grants you 0 points for that race. So even if you've had a crash at turn 1, your car is limping back to the pits, it is worth finishing that race. Because we have seen in the past how 1 point can make a lot of difference, especially if you're in that tight mid-pack battle in Platinum, in Silver, or in Bronze. It is always a interesting part. So we're going to now jump on board with Tim Fabiac for a lap here, a half lap really, as he's coming out of Maggots and Beckett's. Heading down the very long straight towards Stowe, the mountain section, as it has been called, probably the highest amount of elevation on the circuit. Right-handed and slightly drops downhill. You've got that runoff you can use. Ah! My phone made noise. Into the chicane, then on to the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight, the start-finish straight of Formula 1. GT Racing does not use this at this point. We are now going to get the GT4 times up on screen for you. And in the chat, Gons has just put in that curb. Yep, we are back at Silverstone, where if you're not in the know for your Racing Pals memes, that curb is, we'll point it out on Fabiac's next lap round. It was a curb that in RP Endurance here at Silverstone took many a cars. People were cutting it too tight and the cars were just stepping out. Now down onto the Brooklands straight into Brooklands. Brooklands being a hotel just off to the right there. They've once again booked me into a room, but I'm not facing the track, which is annoying. How is there an AM GT4 car? Yes. And then through the final corner of this layout and across the line to set the first time out of a 211.207 for Fabic, the Scuderia Pepperoni car with Krejci going through P2 at the minute with a 211.417. Let's point out that curb. So you have the first curb here in Maggots and Beckett's. This is that curb. There is that curb. Many cars were taken round by this point. Mania has come in with a 211.387. Versen a 211.922. Maruta a 212.020. Fuchs a 212.812. Blommen a 213.015. Grundhofer a 214.345. And just as I was saying that, Tomasi a 213.977. So come on then. Come on then, stream chat. You missed me. You know you did. You know you all missed me. You know, you missed my my shouting, my hypeness. And as Deep Cuts has said before, I am, I guess, the voice of Racing Pals. A lot of you guys have become used to me shouting about. We've got many good commentators nowadays as well, with Project A, I believe, being taken for the commentary side by James Andrews, who is racing, and RP Endurance taken by many commentators such as myself, Deep Cuts, James Andrews, Gons, Crime. Many people have come from the seat to the booth, and it is always great to hear and to see. It means that my voice gets a break every so often, which is good. So let's jump on board with Christian Fuchs for Scuderia Pepperoni, the 909 Porsche GT4 entry. Currently 8 tenths up on his best time, a 212.817. As he comes through the final corner, it did look a bit wide on the exit, but he seems to be still making up time. Comes across the line. I think this will be a very good lap for him. Will it be enough to bump up into the top 5? Yes, it is, just 9 tenths exactly off. And then Benea there, a 210.410. What a lap. What a lap indeed for the 94 Porsche. We're back on board with Fabic as he comes back down towards Stowe. Watch the feet on the brakes. You can hear the McLaren going down the gears. He is still in the green. The lap is still valid according to my data. He is taking a lot of that curb, but enough of it to be within the track limits. Down the gears for the chicane. Those sausage curbs are very dangerous indeed. And coming around onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight as we now get the helicopter camera as well. You can just see how much curb he is actually using on the exits, which is good. Maximizing a lot of the track that he has available to him, which is something, obviously, you use as much of the track, you can get, you use more of the track on turn-in, you get a shallower angle into the corner, which then lets you carry more speed. And a better exit as well means you get to carry even more speed out. It is all about knowing where to use what bits of track and where you have it available to you and where you can go, where you can't go. The margins are at least a little bit more friendly here at Silverstone. You've got a lot of curb in the black and white that you can use. The green also pretty happy to be used as well. However, Fabic has a whole just under 8 tenths to catch up to Manea. The second 210 of the day. Will Fabic get across the line into the 210s? No. There's a small improvement to 11.135. Here is your provisional pole sitter. Another Scuderia Pepperoni car. The team seeming to take GT4 by storm. And that leads very, very nicely into, let's talk about Huski's takeaway last night. It's Huski's takeaway last night. There you go, I made a jingle as well. I'm doing so much better. It was a pizza. Pizza was very good. It was a hard choice between pizza and Chinese food. The Chinese didn't pick up for me to place an order, so I got pizza instead. That was Huski's takeaway time from last night. The driver and the car, actually, that we didn't see. I made comments about it in the Bathurst stream. The 69 Mercedes, the Flump-mobile. There's the old English sweet, the Flump. Weird sort of foamy, gooey thing that tasted like diabetes and lovely. This car took its maiden victory in its maiden race. It's now here in the GT4 split for the season. I'm just wondering where we will see it. On the starting grid, and when the line, when the checkered flag drops and the race is over. 11 GT4 cars, a few more GT3 cars as well. 14 GT3 cars by my count, 11 GT4 cars. As this is the pre-season race, however, there is no points scored. This is just a chance for the drivers to get themselves set up, get themselves ready, make sure they know what they're doing. Make sure I know what I'm doing. And it is a very, very good taster of what there is to be gained. And lost, you know. In the RP series, RP season. I don't know though. I think we will see some tightness as the race happens. Keep in mind the GT4 cars have got the GT3 cars to contend with. The GT3 cars adversely have the GT4 cars to contend with. It is GT blue flag rule. You do not, unlike other series, have to throw yourself off of the racing line. What you have to do under a blue flag is stay predictable, hold your line, and not actively defend. It is the onus of the car behind you to make the move safely, as Deep Cuts is just about to come across the line. I'm just wondering if we see any GT3 cars lining up yet at the pit exit to get themselves out first. No. Deep Cuts across the line, a 2:14.782. And someone who is actually improving on his lap time is Manea. Through turn one, through Maggots and Beckett's. I've already given myself hiccups. That's a very good start to today's proceedings. Oh, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. The chat doesn't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. It's scary. Okay, let's jump on board with the 94 Porsche. He heads into the chicane. You can just see how stable the car looked as he seesaws the wheel through the chicane. Maybe the car's a bit twitchy on the rear. However, some drivers prefer that. Some drivers like a car that kicks the back out. I'm one of those. And I am sure the people in the chat are one of those as well, as we are now just about crossing the 16-minute remaining mark. So the GT4 cars will have about a lap left, depending on where they are on track. Let's actually see where they are on track. So the 12 through to the 108.17 will probably not get another lap. after this next one. The 94, the 69, the 36, and the 93 car will likely get an extra lap, which can make all the difference. Oh. And is it going to be an improvement for Manea? It is indeed a 210.282. And Krejci as well is looking like he will improve. Not sure if it will be enough for the move up. However, we have been shocked before. We'll likely be shocked again. As the 15-minute mark has dropped, means the GT3 cars are able to come out onto the circuit. So we'll see. We'll let the GT4 section of this qualifying come to an end. We'll stay on board with Krejci as he rounds onto the Brooklyn Straight. And we will see how GT4 grid provisionally lines up for the race itself, for the preseason race. We'll see. Oh, come on then, chat. Tell me, what are your predictions? Who's going to finish where? What do we think? What do we think of GT4? Who's going to finish where? Oh, it's going to be scary. It's going to be fun. It's the moment every 2 weeks that I do look forward to as across the line. It does improve a 210.7. Across the line comes Fovich as well. Gottlieb is currently out on circuit. He is the last GT4 car to finish his lap. He is currently, though, over a second down on his Delta. So here is your GT4 provisional grid. Manea takes the pole position in the class. A 210.282, followed by Krejci, Babach, Garuta, Blommen, Everson, Fuchs, Guts, Tomasi, Gottlieb, and Grundhofer. Now for GT3, 14 GT3 cars we are being graced with today. Names that we all know. And here is James Andrews in the Wins JT Racing Aston Martin. I'm not 100% sure where everyone's going to finish the silver class 3 cars, so it will be a podium for the silver drivers, especially in the platinum class as well. We will be seeing, I think, a lot of battling. There is a lot of old battles I can see here. Moreno versus Jack versus Rowe. Bingus McBongus versus Jurgens. Oh. Gary Rowe and Toby Long, teammates in the Sportify outfit. One in platinum, one in silver. We will see one in a Beamer, one in an Audi as well. It will be fun. On board now with James Andrews as he heads through the slowish chicane back onto the Lewis Hamilton straight. A lot of things that confuse me is the fact that this is not the start-finish straight. We can just see Robin Moe ahead of him there as well. As it is all about getting your banker lap down. Making sure that that is where you do want it. If you can get the banker down, you can then push on and improve lap after lap after lap. At least that is the goal. But now into the final corner comes James Andrews to set his first lap. Other times are being set. Tom Jack, the opening lap time of .802 with Pierre Moreno 1 second behind, Gary Rowe 4, and James Andrews slots in a 2-minute .2. He will want to do better than that, and here is Pierre Moreno, the Frenchman, the driver that we all know. We've seen him time and time again. I still cannot get used to the fact that he is in an Audi. The Audi being my favourite car in ACC as well. And we will see how he comes across this season. Across the entirety of the season as well, as Bingus but Bongus, a 158.2, go into second place provisionally. Till this point, and Thomas Jack is also improving only slightly though, about half a tenth. The improvement is in the chat. Yep, Huski Sport. Logo lovingly crafted by James Andrews. I think it brings out the stream very well. Oh, excuse me. I am actually just looking at my ACC race control, and I just see a sea of green deltas, including some drivers who are only just about touching on a second of improvement in GT3 at this current moment in time. Will absolutely give cause to sweat for the cars ahead. Is there still Pineapple Grip sponsorship? I believe so. Sponsors from last season, Pineapple Grips. Last season's champion Robin Moe got a personalised wheel cover for winning the Platinum Championship. It was a hard-fought season as far as I can remember, and from as far as I watched, I wasn't here last season, sadly. And Robin Moe will be the returning champion, the number 3 Porsche in the Platinum class. But he has got a lot, and I mean a lot of contenders for that title. Including Pierre Moreno, who's currently P4. Half a second off, though, which is odd for Pierre as well. And here is last season's returning champion, Robin Moe, for Meatball Flag Delivery Zione. The puns are back, everybody. The puns are indeed back, and they are back with a vengeance as well. See Robin Moe coming through. Hopefully. I guess I say hopefully. Hopefully for him, come through the final sector and set an absolutely stonking lap time. Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 3 are all held by different drivers as well. Sector 1, best time of 34.7 by Bingus Nobongus. The Sector 2 of Thomas Jack, 49.1, and a Sector 3 held by Robin Moe with a 33.5. Robin Moe takes provisional pole at this current moment in time as well. Here is Thomas Jack for Right, okay, voice is not fully back to commentary levels yet. We know this. Know it is now, so if I do go a bit silent, then please excuse me, my throat has exploded and someone send for an ambulance and help. Here is your current pole sitter for the silver class as well. Toby Long for Spotify Esports. The other Audi R8 on the grid. Striking once again a very, very nice livery for Spotify Esports. Last season was the... Well, the last season I commentated was the purple Aston Martin. This season, looks like it's a green and black. Yellow and black. Audi R8. Almost reminiscent of the Valentino Rossi ART colours. That we may see at some point. Currently 2.2 seconds off of overall pole, but holding pole in his class and looking to be improving as well. Oh. Just got some lightheadedness there for a moment. I do apologise. 5 minutes left in the qualifying for the GT3 cars. The gaps are looking tight up the top as well. Keep in mind though, qualifying is sort of just a one lap pace affair. And the race is where the chickens will come home to roost, I think. Where you will see lap after lap pace and consistency play an even bigger part. Is a 1 hour race. Need to check. Go check over. I made sure to check something beforehand. I am doing even better than normal. Be proud as... Oh, there we go. Big spin there for Toby Long. On board with Robin Moe we go. Onto the rear wing. That's not really a racing line there, Mr. Moe. I think that was just a case of too much into the corner and had to take the avoiding action to keep it out of the barrier. Something in my room has just fallen over. Is there a ghost in here who I'm making upset? With my commentary, it might be so. If I get murdered by a poltergeist, then that is a problem. Well, yes, he is racing and it is a line. It's not a valid line, but it is a line. Let's see as he comes across the line what he actually gained and lost. A 158.1 by basically cutting the entirety of that corner. There's 2.5 minutes left in the session as well. This will be very interesting to see it come down to the flag. It is a German top three at the minute. Porsche, Audi. But Aston Martin in the mix as well. As we're with Daniel Scott now for Rocky Blue Racing, the number 31 Porsche. It seems to be more Porsches than anything else. This race as Deep Cuts says hello. Hello, Deep. So I'm just sat here now having a think, looking at the gaps and going, where do I see this race ending up? And that is a very, very hard question. It's always difficult to try and guess who's going to finish where, because it's 1 hour of racing. There is a pit stop as well. Keep in mind, a tyre change must be performed. Some drivers can also choose to refuel if they so want. However, I would say that is more a driver by driver basis on do. Always a tricky one whether you want to take fuel or if you want to run the full tank, be heavier at the start, but then be lighter towards the end at your final pit stop. How to work those tyres even harder. Yeah, with the less weight that you would have from fuel that you have already burnt towards the bag. As the checker flag will drop in just a moment for GT3 qualifying. Some drivers still out setting times. Thomas Jack, Pierre Moreno, Jurgens, Ulrich and Schoblem. Jurgens has in fact picked up and circuit, so he will be finishing this session. But two drivers who are still improving, Thomas Jack and Pierre Moreno, the drivers from E and Spectre Racing respectively. Will indeed see, however, what will come from the end of the qualifying session. Robin Moe has everything to defend, everything to play for, and it lose this season. Thomas Jack wanted last season's championship, is back with a vengeance for this season. But Callum Ilott still on the front of his car, which I have now learned is not a footballer. Across the line comes Thomas Jack to take provisional pole. A 157.267. What a lap for him. Pierre Moreno just coming out of the final few corners. Going to Brooklands. Fine. I was wrong. But down the Brooklands straight, we'll see what will Pierre Moreno give us for his final lap out here. Down on time, about a tenth down, but the exit out of this final corner could be all the difference. Doesn't look like it was quick enough though out the final corner, and across the line it's not going to be an improvement. It was 157.842, so there is your GT3 qualifying. Thomas Jack takes pole, a 157. Else. So Thomas Jack on pole, Robin Moe second, Biggins at longest third, then Moreno, Joel, Grabner, Geisen, Long, Andrews, Scott, Rowe, Ulrich, Joblem, and Underwood, and GT3 went over earlier. Manea will be taking pole there, followed by Krejci, Babic, Ruta, Bowman, Versen, Fuchs, Tuts, Massey, Gottlieb, Corfer. So I don't know. Thomas Jack and Robin Moe, I think, will be absolutely barreling at each other from beginning to end. Flag to flag for the two Porsches. Pierre Moreno as well, I think, will throw a surprise in once the lap times come to what we've expected from him. Don't want to discount Bingham longest either in the Aston Martin there. Great car. He has also proven over the seasons to be a very, very good, very capable driver throughout a race. Throughout a stint, and then Silver, Toby Long and James Andrews. I'm not too sure. It will be a close one. You can see the wins car of James Andrews and the 71 Sportify car of Toby Long. As well, so it will be a very, very interesting race, I do feel. And then you've also got Jurgens from Cookie No Livery Racing, Keck, Bentley there, number 7 car, you can just see. Well, hopefully there will be no pit lane shenanigans as 45 seconds till the pace, the formation lap starts off. Track as well is wet, so the drivers will have fun with that. It looks like it's going to be wet, and then first half of the race it looks like it will start to dry up. So what is the choice? Go out on the dries and hope, or do you go out on the wets? Also hope that the track stays wet still. You come in for your pit stop. There's no pit window. You can pit whenever you want. You see most drivers pitting at the halfway point at the 30 markers out onto the track. So the cars for the formation lap is GT Racing. After all, it is a double file rolling start. So we do just have a bit of silence so we can hear the engines of these cars starting up and getting the little low revs down. As well, some wiggling there from the cars in the background. Try and work that little bit of heat into the tyres. Might want to start using the brakes as well, get the heat up into those. Is a 1 hour race. The race will be ending at about 9:30 UK time. What to expect. I don't know what, for the chat doesn't know what to expect, but I know one thing I can expect: a very, very tight battle between these two Porsches, the 13 and the 3 car. Thomas Jack and Robin Moe, respectively, returning champions from different seasons. Robin Moe from last season, Thomas Jack, I believe, from the season before. Race entirely for setting up a statement, sending a message. We see cars now coming up into double file through the final couple of corners. Flag does not go green till they cross the line. Will I get the flag right this race? I never normally do. So we will very much as for the pre-season race here. the opening act for Racing Pals RP Series Season 7. Pre-season, the prelude, the Episode 1 pilot. We head on to the start finish straight. Don't go green there. We do in fact go green. And we're just watching Robin Moe looks. Oh, Pierre Moreno's already round. Oh, it's a catastrophe. The GT4 cars, the Scuderia Pepperonis, everyone's round. Everyone has been demolished. We'll have a watch of that race start again. We are locked to Pierre Moreno. Keep a watch on that white Audi and that blue and white Aston Martin into turn 1. They just come together. The Aston goes round. Good avoidance there. But then James Andrews also gets collected. One of the GT4s comes round, leads him into another. And one of the Mercedes GT4s as well gets the collection in that too. So now Pierre Moreno has got a lot, and I mean a lot of climbing to get underway with, and out into the lead already is Robin Moe, and Thomas Jack has in fact dropped down to 3rd position. Bingus Abongus has already retired into the pit lane. James Andrews now as well has a very, very big mountain to climb. Toby Long, I think, got the best out of that for the silver class, holding his his pole position in the class, and then holding out into the lead of a 6/10 gap to Wallrack as well. And Thomas Jack has lost another position. He's getting a bit loose there. We just saw one car, 2 cars, even Jurgens has gone past him. And Thomas Jack, I'm sure, will be very, very angry with the start. He was pole position and now he's down to P5. And the work just seems to be getting even higher and even harder and harder and higher and higher for Thomas Jack to catch up to Robin Moe. This race, the track is already drying out. As well, I think the drivers that went onto wets might be regretting it. I think some of them might have been on dries, and that's what caused the lap 1 fun to occur. We'll call it the lap 1 fun. Jurgens already looking to mount an attack on Grabner. The 385 Porsche there, the blue and gold car, just ahead of him. So we've got another yellow flag. Let's have a look. It is Krejci. What has happened there too? The 108 Audi. He's got the presidential Flumpmobile. Oh, there's the 14 car that's gone round. As well, he took avoiding action just to make sure that he didn't get caught up in that. The presidential Flumpmobile has in fact made the move as well from that little bit of avoidance. As you can see, James Andrews all over the back of the GT4 car trying to get down the inside, which he does. Now we'll probably see him mount a challenge on the Mercedes AMG GT4, the Flumpmobile driven by Deep Cuts, who is currently running in 2nd position. Around the outside, maybe a bit off the circuit there, but he has made the move. I'm sure Deep Cuts won't be too upset about that. I'm sure he'll just be sat there like, yeah, that's the GT3 out of my mirrors. I can now use as much of his slipstream as possible. As we see the pepperoni cars move to the outside for Jan Blommen on Krejci, and there as well goes Fabic. As there is a pepperoni off there, and Fabic has come out the best out of all of that. Krejci lost 1 position, and Blommen is basically back where he started before the moves. But now he's opened up to Fuchs behind, and then there is also Manea as well. There is an absolute swarm of pepperoni cars. It's almost like a large pepperoni pizza from your favorite pizza outlet. They've absolutely piled on the pepperoni onto the base. I did a pun. I did a pun. I feel like Jeremy Clarkson's farm. I did a thing. We are just going to stick on with this battle for a little while of the Pepperoni Brigade. There. All the way behind. Just see all of the cars. You can also see behind there is an absolute ton of them fighting amongst each other. The KTM of Averson defending from Minea. There is, I think that's Fuchs going onto the grass, losing a lot of speed, and I think that will be Averson round. I'm not sure about Fuchs. However, down straight, I'm not sure if this is the KTM's strong point. Down straight, so he is covering off. The Porsches are looking hungry, all of them. In fact, are looking very hungry. They all want a slice of the pepperoni pizza, as Averson is kept round the outside by Blommen, but then he may be able to hold the inside into the chicane itself. Onto the brakes, chicane inside through the first part, but then Blommen will get the inside into the second part, be able to shove him off a bit wide if he wants to get the elbows out this early, and that should be the move done for Averson. Yes, indeed it is. Now Fuchs will also be looking to capitalize as much as possible on this too. He'll get the inside into turn one. Make the move as well, but then Averson get the inside into the tight right-hander. Down the inside, maybe. Grundhofer is also looking, but he does hold on. He has to hold around the outside. Averson has managed to come out from that assault in one piece and still in the position he was. You can also see Underwood there, the 14 BMW that we saw sideways at Maggots and Beckett's earlier on. They're looking here. It looks like a down the inside move. One of the cars has indeed gone off. It is, in fact, Christian Fuchs, and I think it's Grundhofer as well. Went very deep into Brooklands. Indeed it is. Moreno, a yellow flag. What's happened here? Let us have a look. We will see if there was anything a bit sketch about that. He's on the grass. I think maybe Moreno has got a lot of damage. He has indeed. Just look at that. He is having to hold the steering so hard on that car to keep it in one piece. I think that will be the end of play for PM Moreno in this race. Already we have had an insane amount of action this race, and I'm sure it's not going to end now, as we see Marek Krejci there, the 108 Audi on the back of Fabic, who's gone deep into Stowe. That will be the move for the Audi there, probably all wrapped up. But what about the Porsche behind? No, not quite. Blommen will have to bide his time and wait, find the position, make the move, maybe but not by doing that. Wow, we are watching some intense racing in GT4. It's almost like a pepperoni civil war. Oh. As well, out in the lead, an update on the GT3 field. Robin Moe has grown his gap to 8.1 seconds over Joel. 8.1. Oh. Now we see Farage. I think he's got a better exit than Krejci as well, but Krejci is dragging him out to the outside of the circuit. Maybe McLaren can try and use some overspeed. Not quite onto the rear wing of the 108 Audi. You can very much see how the McLaren is just looking, trying to find anywhere that he can attack. Yeah, Presidential Flumpmobile just up ahead as well in GT4. Maruta has gained a 4-second gap. 2 deep cuts. As well as we see Toby Long under attack from Scott in the Porsche, holds the inside line, makes sure to make that Audi as wide as it can possibly be to make the move stick and to hold his position there in P6. Now back to the Pepperoni Civil War. They are looking down the inside at Stowe on Blommen. Could be a pretty cut and dry move, but maybe Blommen can get a better exit. Might be able to go down the inside at the chicane. Nope, just files back in behind very comfortably. And you see cars already coming into the pits for the dry tyres. Any drivers who started on the wets, who started on the dries are probably sitting there going, oh yes, this is what I wanted. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who did start on the dries will be going, yes, yes, saw this coming, no rain expected for half of this race. Thomas Jack is just testing the rally capabilities of a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Now we see the Presidential Flumpmobile will be under attack from the Pepperoni gang. They want to indoctrinate the Flumps into the pizza, but the Flump is saying, no, I'm a confectionery, I am not for pizza. Babic as well, looking on the Audi R8, pulls back a bit before turn 1. Maybe didn't want to try that tight angle. Maybe didn't want to take out a team car. There is a lot of different reasons as to why you wouldn't poke the nose up the inside at turn 1. I have been in one of those reasons before. We saw it at the start of the race. Lines can just converge together and then you can just have problems. But now, 47.5 minutes, just under, cars have already made their first pit stops. Keep in mind, you only have to make 1 pit stop. Daniel Scott looking down the inside at the chicane. Looks to get the move done pretty easily, and that will drag up the Flumpmobile, who makes the cutback. The GT4 car has overtaken the GT3 car on merit, and then the GT3 car is just going to go, I have an engine, I go fast. Down the inside there for Daniel Scott. I don't know if that has cost the Flumpmobile time. I believe it might have, but the more they're battling together, these Pepperoni cars and the Flumpmobile, the more that Maruta can just extend his lead at the moment, which currently sits at 1 second. Flumpmobile there getting just hung around the outside. Loses out to one car, maybe going to lose out to the McLaren as well. Looks like it. Is the McLaren going to go down the inside of Brooklands? Yes, he is. A move there down the inside of Flumpmobile gives the Audi a little bit of a love tap on the rear. Drags him out wide, and the Flumpmobile might move up a position. The Audi, now we see a 3 wide, 2 GT4s and a GT3 on the outside as well. This is shaping up to be something. It's 3 wide through the final corner. The BMW gets clear pretty quickly, but now will he be okay? Into the first corner, the Flumpmobile getting a bit loose on the rear end, washes out wide onto the apron there, and that will open up deep cuts to Krejci and Manea behind as well. But that may also have helped out deep cuts. It looks like Fabic got held up a little bit by Gary Rose BMW 2. As James Andrews has picked up a drive-through penalty, possibly for speeding in the pit lane. Now we will see. Will that Audi have the legs to go down the inside at Stowe? Deep Cuts is leaving the option open to defend the inside if he needs to. But it looks like he won't have to. In fact, as he holds the position, holds the inside, goes as defensive as he likes. Now it is still a three-car battle for P3 in GT4. And then the other battle that is appearing is P4 in GT4 between Krejci and Manea, with Blommen there just probably waiting in the background, waiting in the wings to capitalise on any mistake, any collision. But Manea has moved up into P4 in the GT4 class. A bit further back, we see Christian. He just got overtaken by Grabner. Not really something that we caught onto, but here is another three-car battle. Tomasi, Grundhofer, and Versen all facing off against each other. Mercedes versus Porsche versus KTM, with a Robin Moe there in the background for good measure. Yeah, current race leader. He's going to look up the inside, quite a tight angle, but it looks like he's been given the room that he requires. And it looks like the two GT4 cars that have been caught up in that haven't lost time to each other, but have indeed lost time to Tomasi up ahead. Now we're back. Jan Blommen looking on Krejci, but Grabner there just going, yep, I'll have up the inside. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ooh, a little bit twitchy there from the Audi. We could just about see that from the top down. We have a yellow flag. It is Blake Underwood. Let's see what has happened here. The car had just been previously repaired, the number 14 BMW. As the car just lost it onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight, it has wall 1. There goes the front. Wall 2. There goes the front on the other side. I think that will be more damage for the BMW Cappy Racing BMW division car. Really what you'd want to see is Robin Moe has headed into the pit lane, possibly for dry tyres. Now Daniel Scott facing up against Toby Long. Audi R8 versus I'm gonna call it BMW M3 there. No, wrong car, Husky, wrong brand, wrong everything. A Porsche GT3. Porsche makes the move. Look, very, very simple. Now we know the Audi has got legs. Down the straight. We'll see, can Toby Long maybe get the legs out enough? Try down the inside at Brooklands. Well, he's having a look. Daniel Scott does actually go wide. Now he'll hold the inside into the final corner. No, Toby Long shut that door as soon as he could and made sure that the Porsche said no before heading into the pit lane. I think that was just a statement of intent more than anything else. We have got another meatball freeway here. Omar Tomasi, Versen, and Grundhofer all fighting each other. KTM versus Mercedes versus Porsche once more. The KTM will hold the inside line down into the corner as Thomas Jack looks about, pokes one up the inside of the Mercedes, says thank you, wham blam, thank you ma'am. I was going to look around the outside of the KTM. The KTM probably lost a lot less time in that lapping than his Mercedes-Benz counterpart. Grundhofer as well just moves off the racing line. He's like, nope, no point fighting that. It's happening. We will deal with it. It will occur. before, it's definitely been an eventful start to the pre-season race, and we're only 20 minutes in, 1/3 of the way through. So let us have a look back to the race start collision, the number 8 and the number 22 car. This is Pierre Moreno and Bingus McBongus. So this is what started off all of the fun. Never mind. Maybe if we grab it a bit better, we will indeed grab it a bit better. See, this is where they came together. The lines just converged, and we all remember the fun that happened there. Good avoidance there, but the Wins car went into the side. Bingus McBongus though still out on track. Yeah, Moreno, however, has decided to call it quits for today. That definitely a race start, as we've heard in the chat. And we'll see another replay from earlier on. This was down into the chicane. It looked like there was a bit of contact between two cars, yet the Porsche in the background just got a gentle nudge on the rear end too. Apparently Gary Rowe had a bit of a coming together with a Flumpmobile. Let's have a look here. So keep your eye on the BMW. Oh, gentle kiss on the rear bumper. That was what sent Flumpmobile wide earlier on this race. And now we see the pepperoni cars of Omar Tomasi and Grundhofer fighting each other once more. And it looks like Grundhofer has made himself off into the night with that position for now, and Bingus McBongus has got an absolute mountain to climb, but we've seen that he can climb these mountains. Has been the story of his racing to this point. Now it is time to let say Jesus take wheel. We'll see Gary Rowe chasing down Daniel Scott there. You can just see ahead that blue Porsche. That's what the BMW's target is. Back to this battle. Deep Cuts has got drive-through penalty. Keep in mind that Flumpmobile will have to be taken at some point. But Blommen was looking, but then Crenshaw was like, no, hello, I am here. You're fighting me now. The Porsche stuck between a Mercedes and a hard place. The Wins. Aston Martin getting himself through. Yep. Indeed, but that has opened up the gap now for the Porsche to have a go. The Audi looking all over the rear end of Jan's car, but not finding his way through there at all. That was some very, very interesting racecraft. Some very, very good defending there from the Porsche to just make sure both doors were closed as soon as they looked to be opening on the rear end now of the Flumpmobile. We will definitely see, I think, some battling occurring. The Porsche of Jan goes to the inside to defend from the Audi of Marek. Into snow as they go down the biggest hill that there is on this track. He'll get the inside into the chicane. It looks like it will be the Audi behind. Jan uses as much of that Porsche engine as he can do to defend the position. at this point, but the Audi R8 is looking everywhere that he possibly can. Just try and find an opening in his sister car. The Scuderia Pepperoni cars. Muscle there being so longus goes, hello, I am here. I am Audi R8. I go Burt. It looks like Jan actually used that a bit to his advantage over the Audi R8 behind him. Let's see, will the Audi try and have a look down the inside at Brooklands? No, he will not. That is definitely not somewhere that people have been really making many moves. Surprising, it's out of the norm in fact, is that the Flumpmobile looks like it's heading into the pit lane for its driver. Yes indeed, Krejci heads into pit lane 2. Not sure what for, maybe for tyres, maybe for some other work. We'll in fact see Daniel Scott chasing the rear end of Gary Rowe. This was a move that we did not catch earlier on when we were encapsulated by the P4 battle. We have got a yellow flag. We will look at what that's for. It's Underwood. Also got a yellow. Let's happened here. Was it that curb making its first appearance of the race? We'll see. The BMW goes to the outside of a G4. Curb 1. That curb has struck again. That curb has done its thing. It's back. It is back with a vengeance. That curb has proven once more that it is definitely something to be reckoned with. That will likely be damage once again on Underwood's car. Maybe on the rear end this time around though, not on the front end, so that might be a blessing in disguise. He should be able to come and continue driving. At this point, however, he may want to take a run by pit lane just to be sure, but it looks like he's actually pulling up and pulled up for some reason. Daniel Scott, that curb again. Oh! Oh, that was a big one. That was not that, it was at that curb, but it wasn't that curb that caused it. Gonna get another angle on this, in fact, interior view. Oh, and then Toby Long has spun out as well there. We'll get one more view from the 31 car. We're gonna go inside. Let's see. He just didn't have anywhere to go. You can hear the car has stalled out. Daniel Scott will likely not be very happy at this point. So that curb giveth and that curb taketh away. And now we see Philip Grabner all over the back of Gary Rowe into Brooklands. BMW should be able to poke the nose up the inside of the final corner. No, Grabner has grabbed the inside of the corner. I did another pun! Woo! For some, they may be thinking this is how their season is going to shake up, but do keep in mind this is just a pre-season race, and already it's showing us what the RP series can bring. There's Robin Moe, who is currently in P2, but likely first on the road as Jack has to make a pit stop. He only has a 36-second gap. is in fact looking about. We see Fabic there losing out the position to Maruta. 93 Audi R8, the other one of the other Scuderia pepperoni cars. Sorry, I'm just dying. Give me a moment. Let's see. Will the McLaren look up the inside? No, he won't. The puns are very much on fire. I have been working on them. I'm very happy with how they have come out. Let us go. This battle is Tomasi against the Flumpmobile. Tomasi goes into the pit lane as soon as I move over. Of course. So back to Fabic versus Maruta. Versus Audi, looking everywhere as well, even going out onto the grass, just trying to find a way round, but no way round was forthcoming at all. I will see. We'll look into the first corner of the F1 layout. No, there will not. Might just be a case of getting as much speed out of the exits as possible. Taking a lunge into the next right-hander into the twisty section, but the Audi has been placed right in the middle of the road to say no, that is not happening. So let us have a look. Left, right. It is like a ballet. It is like a dance. Audi will hold the inside, but now maybe a lunge for the McLaren into the next corner. No, not enough room, not enough power to get it down to go around. Ulrich is appearing or disappearing into the pit lane for his pit stop. Few drivers to still make pit stops. Jack, Ulrich, Maruta, Fabic. Everson, Cuts, Bingus, Bungus. All to make stops. Jürgen Scheisen in a battle with Joel. Bentley versus BMW. It is a battle in GT3. Have been waiting. It is a battle for third overall and also third in class. Between the BMW and the Bentley, we will have a look. Looks like Jürgens has actually pulled a decent gap to Joel, half a second in fact into no. When is Thomas Jack going to pit? Will it be this lap? He is just coming out the final corner. Yes, he will. So Thomas Jack is in the pit lane. Robin Moe, however, will be bearing down on the rear end of the small PP car. I think this should be Robin Moe put back into the lead of the race as we've got a yellow flag. It is for Woolrack. What has happened here? Is it that curb giveth and that curb taketh away? In the right position by the look of it. It is indeed. That curb do giveth. That curb do taketh away. Robin Moe just coming to take the position off of Thomas Jack, who's still stopped in the pit lane. So Tom will be sat there like, oh my god, he's overtaken me. Now that gap will build and build and build. He is set for what will the gap be once he gets out of the pit lane itself. Up to racing speed, about 28 seconds between himself and Robin Moe.
However, with 25 minutes just over left in today's race, there will still be time as we see Toby Long fighting his way back up through the field past the presidential frontmobile. General frontmobile, actually, it's not the presidential one this race round. Robin Moe just negotiating one of the G4 cars down the Brooklyn Straight, probably one of the best places to do it. Porsche, I think, there was actually having a look. It's definitely something you do not see every day. Will very much now continue to see what is occurring around the field. Rear Pepperoni cars back together. Radu Maruta and Tim Fabish. Fabish heads into the pit lane. So that should give Radu some good opportunity to try and build a gap before he has to make his own pit stop. Very much the rest of the race comes around. What will happen? There is time. Of this race, there's still time for everything to change. Mo is coming on up onto the back of James Andrews. Very situated. Ian Rear. Right, catching up. Back on. Matt's car is in the same class as yours. Looks like he's made the move on James Andrews quite easily, quite simply, and James Andrews sticking behind, using as much of that draft as he possibly can. Not many cars left either to take pit stops in this race. Has got another yellow flag out. See who it is. Jesus, take the wheel. I'm not quite sure who that was. I think it might have been Edgy here. Let's have a look. By right. I was wrong. In fact, we're not quite sure who that yellow flag was for, but that yellow flag was indeed out. Krejci is on the back of Fabish. Both drivers now can go to the flag. The final 21 minutes. Of today's race still to run. Jurgen's there. No livery racing Keck. I had the cookie myself. As his Discord name is Cookie No Livery Racing Keck. I was saying he's got 5.1 seconds, according to my data, between himself and Thomas Jack. So it is very, very possible he could indeed make his way up. Literally at this point running out of words to say about today's race. It has been an absolutely, at least from a commentary view, it has been an absolutely action-packed run today. Is that rain I can see there just coming back in? I'm not 100% sure. It looks like Daniel Scott just has his wiper on. For some reason, maybe he thinks it gives a bit of extra aerodynamic benefit. Did though for a moment just look as if there was a little bit of drizzle just coming down, but it looks like we will be dry until the flag. That will be this. So we're going to have a go through some of the things in today's race. Here was the race start collision between the 8 and the 22 car that cracked us out there. You can just see, and then before it cuts out, everyone gets collected. And later on, we had the 909-12. This was a little rear end collision there between the number 12 car and the 909. Just did slow down. Then we had the 13 and 385, Thomas Jack and Grabich. May have just been a little bit of side-by-side contact here. There's a little bit of a tap actually for Jurgens. That was quite interesting there. The 951 of Frederick Schoblem and Pierre Moreno down into Brooklands quite early on in the race. little love tap there indeed. Then we had the 69 Flumpmobile, the 108 Audi. This was what sent the Flumpmobile a bit wide, I believe. A little bit of happy tap, but nothing too bad. Yeah, 12 and as well had a coming together later on in the race. Green car being the McLaren, you can see just there. Doesn't look like. We had the 77 and the 909 car. A little bit of fun. Off the track went the 77. The 909 follow suit and just get a little bit of a love tap. No. Also had the 69 car having a little bit of fun later on. This was a Flumpmobile and Daniel Scott. This is when the track itself dried up. A little bit of a rear end tap there and a little bit of a side end tap by the look of it. Thinking a bit later race, this was Gary Rowe and Toby Long into the chicane. BMW and Audi, little bit of a rear end tap, round goes Toby Long. We also had Jurgens and the 521 car, the number 7 and the 521 car a little bit earlier as well, so we were going through those replays. Just a little bit of a speed bump there for the Mercedes to contend with. Maybe put him up a gear and maybe actually got him a little bit of extra speed down the Brooklyn Straight, which would be quite helpful. Now Daniel Scott once again rounds up perfectly into the final quarter of an hour of today's race. Daniel Scott already grabbed the inside into Brooklyn's very early on. Will the BMW have the legs to extend? No. No extension to the inside of the final corner. That will be Daniel Scott moving up a position. Indeed, and now in car in the BMW. Very spacious car, this. But if you're a driver who likes stretching your legs out, the BMW is a car for you. Oh, he took a lot of that curb. Now the Porsche is the target in the windscreen for Gary Rowe. Toby Long as well, just behind. Not in a battle for this position. He is there and he could maybe do something. He is actually looking to attack the BMW of Gary Rowe. Keep in mind they did have that collision earlier on. Maybe the elbows will be a bit more out. A little bit of track extension there for Gary Rowe. Robin, I'm not sure. Part of me thinks he may have actually started on the dry tyres. We will have a look. We'll have an ask when the interviews roll around. We will see. However, let's, for the benefit of the chat, have another look at that turn 1 incident at the start of the race. Keep an eye on the Aston Martin and the Audi into the first corner. Never mind. Eventually the lines did just converge and then a happy tap. That set a whole cascade for turn 1 of fun, essentially, is what had occurred. We'll see as we see two Scuderia Pepperoni cars duking it out amongst each other. It's Lomond and Averson, Porsche and the KTM respectively, fighting it out. As you can see Underwood there going down the inside at Stowe on the Porsche. Gives him a bit of an elbow barge out the way, like, hello, I am here. Porsche there, get out of the way, and then BMW took the KTM into the chicane. Very damn stuff. Gary Rowe still chasing down the blue Porsche of Daniel Scott. The Flunkmobile is there as well. We'll see. This could be very interesting as the Flunkmobile takes its regular line. Toby Long. Oh! Big crash! Gary Rowe into the barrier. Wow, we are going to have a look at that. That is steering damage for Gary Rowe. Let's look at the inside. Just, I think, gets caught and just into the barrier itself. Wow. We'll have a look at this from Deep Cut's perspective too. And let's have a look on the curb. Going wide, just taps the rear end of the BMW who was on the outside. Gets a bit of a half spin himself. That is the risk you do play with when you're going outside on a GT4 car. We see Deep Cuts there just making move. Not Deep Cuts, sorry. I think it's the longest muscle. Making moves on the GT4s around himself. I think for Gary Rowe, that is going to be very, very painful way to carry on the race, but he's staying out of the pit lane. We'll see. Daniel Scott, though. Pristine condition car, looks to the inside at the first corner. Looks like he's going to get the move done pretty simply. Pretty cut and dry, that. Damage on the BMW. No damage really on the Porsche. It is just one of those moves where it's going to happen. I think if we have a look on board with Gary Rowe, we'll be able to just look at how much he is having to feather that car. And look, there's just no steering there. Watch as he straightens out onto the long straight. Just look how much he's having to hold that steering to actually get any straight line out of the wheels. That is an insane amount of steering damage there for the BMW of Gary Rowe. Not at all what he would have wanted to see. Not at all what he would have wanted for this race, especially in this last period, last portion of today's race. It all stemmed from that collision with the Flumpmobile earlier on, the 69 Flumpmobile at Stowe, and that just tipped the car into the barrier. Yeah, back now to Scuderia Pepperoni fight. So, we are now into the final 10 minutes. Well into the final 10 minutes, in fact. 8 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock remaining. And there's a yellow flag. It is for Thomas Jack. He is off into the gravel. What has happened here? He's on the back of the Wins JT Aston Martin into turn 1. The back end has just slipped out and it's gone. No collision there whatsoever. The back end of the car just decided it was going to go. No. And there's also a yellow flag for Frederick Schoblem as well. What has happened to the Porsche? Looks like this is at the final corner of the F1 layout. Car's just snapped on him. Yep, just snapped on him. Sent him off of the circuit. That is definitely something. There, the car just had a snap. Had a go, and it was like, oh dear, oh dear. Not what you would have wanted to see. At all. Yeah. Final 7 minutes of the race come about. Still got a lot of time for things to happen. A lot of time, in fact, to happen. 7 minutes. Seen so much happen in the space of a single minute, let alone 7 of them. We'll very much see. Daniel Scott up to P7. P6 in class, Woolrack. Currently leading the silver class, your top 3 in each class at the minute. For platinum, it is Mo, Jack, and Jurgens. Silver is Woolrack, Andrews, Long, and for it's Minea, Abish, and Uji. Which I am pretty sure I have had like 17 different ways this race. I did say I am bad at language, so I do apologise to any drivers who may be watching the stream after the fact for my terrible, terrible pronunciation.
This is definitely a very, very good opening act. You know, this is just a taster. Next round, round 1, the scored round, in fact. This will be. That will be round 1. Go over the calendar. Just at the end of. Not worry, we will be going over the calendar so everyone can see what we are in for this next season. Jurgen's chasing down the rear end of James Andrews. Robin Moe getting past the KTM. Pretty happy, pretty simple. In with driver's eye, the view that the driver does see from the front of the helmet. See how many little micro adjusts have to make to the steering all the way round. Past Woolrack, the current leader of Silver, the 2 class leaders, the Honda NSX of Woolrack and the Porsche 11 of Robin Moe. We had a quick yellow flag there for Daniel Scott. Let's see what happened. He's all out on his own. Little bit of grass. The car is unsettled. Oh, holds that very, very well. Back to the yellow flag for James Andrews. What has happened? He's off in the sand. This a crash with Jurgens. Let's have a look. Doesn't quite look like it. Looks like Jurgens gets through, but we don't know what's yet happened. You head down into the chicane. Oh, Jurgens gets collected by the wins car of James Andrew, and Gary Rowe as well has had a yellow flag for himself. We will go back and have a look at that too. Is it that curb has caused it? Yes, it is. That curb has taken yet another name. That curb will be going down in Racing Pals history as the curb that has caused pain. So we see the Scuderia Pepperoni cars of Manea and Krejci having a fight as well once again. These guys have been duking it out for the entire race, been going as hard as possible. Doesn't look like it's going to be ending till the checkered flag has flown. Until I think that flag has flown, you will see a lot of different things. Toby Long as well battling Gary Rowe. It's a different class battle up the inside of the GT4s, and Gary Rowe goes a bit deep. Gary Rowe might be able to make the move back. He does indeed. Toby Long just almost had it and then didn't have it. Wow, Gary Rowe on the flasher. Or Toby Long on the flasher. Manea also on the flasher. Everyone's on the flasher. So many flashes. Toby Long has slightly lost trend there as Robin Moe. 17 seconds left of the race. Is he going to make it one more lap? Or is he going to slow up to save us all time? I think he's going to make it the end of the race. I don't think he fancies one more. Even Woolrack's behind him like, nah, we're done. We're finished. So here is your winners of both classes. For Platinum, it is Robin Moe. For Silver, it is Woolrack. What a race. But we need to know who is going to come and win GT4. At the minute, Fabish is in the lead of the class. The McLaren of Scuderia Pepperoni. However, Manea is right there behind him. If a mistake does happen, Manea will be able to take the win of the class, and I think Fabish will be wanting to hold as much ground as possible into the final race.
But let us see. Manea is looking and looking and looking. And across the line to take the win of GT4 is Tim Fabish. A very, very good race for the McLaren driver. So we are going to get the drivers in for interviews. The pepperoni cars are just trying to move the BMW out of the way to get a picture of all of them. So your post-race results are here. We'll do it by class. For GT3, for the Platinum class, Robin Moe came through to take the victory, followed by Thomas Jack, Jürgens Ushheisen, Joel Grabner, Scott, Schoblum, Rowe, McBongus and Underwood, with Nebo and Moreno not finishing the race. In silver was Woolrack, Andrews and Long taking the top three. And in GT4, Fabic took the victory, followed by Manea, Maruta, Krejci, Versen, Fuchs, Brownhofer, Tomasi, Kurtz, Gottlieb and Blommen. So let us get in, and this is going to be a bit different from what I normally do, but I have questions I want to ask both of them. Here is Robin Moe and Tom. I wanted to speak to both of you because I think a lot of people have both of you down as being the fight at the top this season, and I think tonight, even though it's not scored, were you guys trying to put out a sort of this is my intention for this season?
Yeah, sure. Like, to some degree, probably, but...
I was just trying to take Mo out.
I'm not gonna lie, I was worried at turn one because we discussed the strategies on the grid immediately. So I knew he was on dries and I was on wets, and I was like, oh, if he outbrakes himself, or if I, like, you know... If I, like, just take him out in the braking zone or something because I can't, you know, tell when he's braking, it's gonna be, like, very nasty quite quickly.
And one thing I did want to ask: how did you guys start? You alluded it to the then. Were you on dries, Tom, and was Robin on wets?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And obviously, pre-season race, bit different. How are you guys feeling now going into the first round?
Yeah, I think it will be very, very interesting because we have two very similar cars for this. So to see how like the BOP plays out in the coming rounds will be very interesting in my opinion. But this has been, in my opinion, the best preseason race that we've had so far. Like, with the weather, it made it so interesting for me. I really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to racing Tom in the season.
And Robin, even though it was slightly obvious, did you not want to do one more lap? Were you done at that point?
You saw that? Seriously, I don't know. I still need to figure out the Porsche. It's the first time I've ever, like, driven this car in a league or like anything like this, and for me, setup was like a big issue. And you know, with the fuel tank in the front, you have a lot of weight at the start and it's understeery, but in the end it becomes extremely oversteery. I don't know if you caught it on stream, but I had two major offs and 2 snaps where I nearly ended up in the wall. And in the end, I was just taking it so easy. I was just looking at the delta. I knew I had the gap. I was just trying not to run into anybody. Be careful with the GT4s. Managed the gap to Tom and just ended as quickly as I could.
I didn't see that, but now you have alluded to the fact that it has happened. So now your reputation is tarnished.
No, it was flawless. If you didn't see it, it was flawless.
And Tom, how was your race start? Because I'm going to guess the dries weren't the play because you pulled down a bit to begin with.
Yeah, that was always to be expected, to be fair. I was hoping to catch up later on in the race. I was sort of... I remember last Silverstone race where people started on dries actually ended up being quicker in the end, but this time there was a bit more standing water than back then, I guess. So it didn't work out in the end, but I think it was a tight strategy play. I think there was potential in that, but in the end it just didn't work out my way.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming and speaking to me, you guys. I will see you, hopefully, both of you, for round 1, where hopefully we'll get another good battle out of you two.
Not me, unfortunately, but round 2 definitely.
Oh, Tom!
That's a shame. That's a shame, man.
I am flying to England, man.
Ah! Well, thank you for talking to me. Congratulations on P1 and P2.
Thank you.
Thanks again, man. It was fun.
Guys, later. Because he's already here. Hello, Cookie.
I was being chilling. Because I saw they were both in at the same time, and I was like, does he want me to join? I don't know. So I figured I'd just join and see what was up.
So, P3 in the Bentley, which you were saying was oversteery as anything. Walk me through it.
I survived lap 1.
Good.
And then, Tom had his stuff. And then I don't really know what else happened, to be honest. Well, let me see. So it was, who was it in front of me? Oh, something happened to Bongus. I remember that. Oh, yeah, no, he had his...
he was in a lap 1 crash with PM Arena.
He did, yes. So I'm trying to look at who was in front of me for the rest of lap 1, and it was pretty much Robin and Tom, who I was never going to catch. And then I think it's Vincent Joel, if I remember his name properly, who I had a good fight with, and then I think I just somehow manifested pace. Thank you very much to Robin for his setup, because it's murder, but it's quick murder, as in you can put the car where you want to. But yeah, so this has been kind of like the most typical preseason race ever for me, and I know that sounds weird, but preseason race, I don't usually practice loads, and then I have a good result, and then the rest of the season is just garbage. So I will enjoy it now while it lasts, is what I'm thinking.
So that brings me on to my final question. How do you feel for the rest of the season?
Well, the thing is, so I've probably screwed myself with this result, because I think there was a chance that I could have gone down to silver, actually, based purely off my lap times. But,
Not happening now.
there's a fat chance of that, so I guess, I don't know. I'll practice when I can, and just honestly just show up for the racing, because that's what I do it for, just some fun racing, really. And yeah, hope I have some good results.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations on the podium. You don't get a badly edited picture of a trophy because I've stopped doing them.
Man.
But imagine it in your heart.
I will. Thank you very much for the stream. I hope you had a entertaining race to watch.
Oh, it was. It was great.
Good luck with the rest of the interviews.
I was later.
Bye.
So that was Jurgens there at P3 in the Platinum class. Now let's get in. I have never spoken to before, if my memory serves me correctly, whose name I have probably butchered for the entirety of the race, but it is a number 92 car driven by Ulrach there, taking the win in silver.
Hello.
Hi. So a win in silver. Walk me through it.
I start with dry tires at the start of the race, and I managed to keep the car on the track without doing mistakes, and I got the first position until it. And I didn't race until 11 months, so I was a bit stressed before the race, but now and I got the win.
And how are you feeling now with you know, the preseason win under your belt for the rest of the season? Is the nerves sort of gone, or are they still a bit sort of there?
A little bit, because in this race many people did mistakes that put them in the last position at the start. So if I think Andrew was faster than me at the start of the race, but got some crash, so he finished behind me. But I think with training I could fight for the win more easily.
Mm-hmm. And sort of looking at the season as a whole, I don't know if you've had a proper look through the calendar yet, but are there any tracks that you sort of are looking at and going, that's going to be the one for me?
I never raced in Indianapolis at the moment, so I'm curious to see what I'm gonna do on this round. But the track I already race a lot of with. So I think Indianapolis will be a challenge for me, but then just like Silverstone.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on
Thanks.
your win. Who knows? You may come and speak to me again throughout the season. Always a highlight I hear.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank
Thanks.
you, mate. Congrats on the win.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. So that was Wolrak, the winner of Silverclass, and we are slowly getting through the names. Let us now get in the man who I named wrong for an entirety of a season. Hello, James.
You only named me wrong for one race, Huski.
One race, entire season, same thing. And I think, if my memory serves me correct, you were the only person who finished where you started in your class.
Probably. I think I might have even finished where I started in overall. Unless no,
Maybe.
Cookie started 8th. I think I started 9th. I think I was one position off.
You were, yeah, you started 9th.
That's a shame.
Toby Long started 8th, in fact.
I thought Cookie said he started 8th, but oh well. Oh, Cookie must have started 7th because he was in front of me.
And a wet start to the race. How did you find it? Did you go dries and dries, or did you go wets and wets?
I went wet then dry. I started on the wets, went onto the dry tyre.
We also saw as well, you got caught up in that turn 1 collision. What happened? Were you just a passenger at that point, or?
Well, by the
What was
time
the
I saw
fault?
that Muscle had been flung off to the right into cops, and by the time I saw him and got on the brakes, and brakes in wet weather anyway on cold tyres, there's no avoiding it. I took to the pit lane, and then it looked like the 94 car just decided to absolutely yeet it into Cheba, and then yeet it into me, and then try and power through me, which ended up taking out Gottlieb as well, because I was just a passenger, especially as he was throttling into my side. So that put me down to P12. I managed to clear up a few places, thankfully, but... And then I had a bit of an iRacing moment where I forgot you can't put the pit limiter on in Gear 2 in ACC.
Oh.
That's why I had a drive-through.
And I've asked this question of class winner tonight, and I'll ask it to you as well. Are there any tracks that you're seeing in the calendar that you're like, yep, I'm going to do good here. This is a me track. This is my car track through and through. This is going to be where I'm going to win. Okay, that was a very quick answer.
Snetterton. Because I am one of the few people in the world who have actually bothered to race it properly. Because it's a great track that people often underestimate. I don't think the opposition haven't come to know it as I have, and Robin will probably win it as well in Pro.
And actually, let's ask that question then. It is always interesting to get another driver's view. Where are your bets hedged for the Platinum Championship?
I think Robin will win it again. I think Tom's, as we all know, is too washed to come out on top in the long run. Robin underestimates himself constantly, but I think he's got a good chance. But I don't know if Muscle and Pierre can get their cars together, which they didn't seem to be able to today. Obviously, with boat 1 having damage, and I don't know what actually happened to Darkest. Did you catch it?
He was involved in that lap 1 collision. It was him
was
and
he?
it was a collision between him and Muscle that actually started it.
I almost hit him myself on the hangar straight because that's where he decided to retire, and I didn't quite notice at first that he'd just stopped. So I almost had another big collision due to that.
Oh, great. And you're back in the Aston again?
Yes! Great car. Definitely not just I couldn't be asked to make a new livery.
Any particular reason past being asked to make a new livery? Or is that sort of the long and short of it?
It's a nice car. I drive based on what looks nice, not what drives nice.
Fair. Wouldn't you go with a Jag then?
I'm not insane.
Ah. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
You got a lot of people to get through though, Husky. You've done a full call, I've noticed.
Yeah, I have done. So I'm going to let you go so I can rattle through everyone because I have to go to bed and go to work in the morning.
Don't forget to tell everyone about Project A starting next week.
Oh yeah, you can listen to James yell at Project A from next week.
It's
on
gonna
this
be
same
enjoyable.
YouTube channel. It'll be enjoyable. I might even turn up to a race. Who knows?
I'll let you get to everyone else that you still have to do.
Congratulations on the 2nd place, James. And who knows? You might be winning the next one. You never know.
I might do. I just have to not crash, which is harder said than done. Alright. See you, Husky.
See you later, mate. And that was James Andrews, 2nd place in the silver class. Let us now get in another person whose name I have probably butchered throughout the entirety of the race. Tim. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
I have probably butchered your surname throughout the entirety of the race, so if you do watch the stream, I apologise in advance.
No problem.
So, you came through to win GT4 after starting 3rd place in GT4. How does that feel? How did the race go for you?
It was a bit of a surprise because starting P3, I wasn't expecting to get by the shenanigans in lap 1 as clean as I did. And then I think getting the undamaged car to the end was quite important because the pace of the others was quite strong.
We also saw as well, you were fighting a lot with the many other pepperoni cars that were there. Do you guys, when you're fighting each other, sort of sit back a bit, or is it like, no, we all know each other, we're going as hard as we possibly can?
Nice, usually you just go as hard as you can, but you know, when you are racing with each other quite a lot, you know who to trust and who not to trust, and then you can race very hard. So usually there's no holding back.
Looking at the rest of the calendar, as what are there any races in the calendar, if you've had a proper look yet anyway, that you know that you're strong at or that you're looking forward to, or is there maybe a track or two that you're like, I'm not too sure, might not be the one for me, might be a struggle?
The McLaren should be quite good at Paul Ricard, but the other tracks I have not driven in GT4 yet, so it will be interesting.
Oh, great. That's optimistic. So basically what we've said is Paul Ricard you'll probably do good, the rest of them no idea, let's find out.
Yeah, exactly, we'll see.
Right, fair enough. I love the optimism, it's great. So because I have to be very quick, congratulations on the GT4 win. Maybe before Paul Ricard, you never know, you might win another one.
Yeah, let's hope for the best.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, mate. Thank you for coming and speaking to me. I'll let you get off now.
Yeah, thanks. No problem.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
See you later. So that was Tim Fabish. Now we're going to get in 2nd place in GT4. Someone else whose name I have probably butchered throughout the entirety of the race, and for that I do apologise for when you watch the stream. Manea, 2nd place in GT4 after quite a dominant qualifying time. What happened?
I mean, you probably saw the the incident, let's call it that, into turn 1, lap 1, and I was one of the less fortunate to get caught up in that. And after that concluded, I was dead last with a gap of maybe 10 seconds to the next GT4 in front of me. So yeah, that was quite the race. A lot of overtaking to do. I was hoping I would be able to pull off last to first, but no, the car had too much damage there at the end to hold on to it in the last few laps.
I mean, last to second is also, you know, very, very good, especially with the strength that we've seen from the GT4 field. How does that make you feel for the rest of the season? Now you've got a sort of gauge on how strong the rest of the cars are.
Well, to be honest, you've probably seen all the pepperoni liveries around the GT4 field, and I've been racing with these guys for quite a few seasons now in other leagues, so I kind of know where everyone stands. So it's a pretty packed field, so to say. Now there's definitely some tracks that favor some cars more than others, but yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting down the line.
And on to my final question, which actually does lead on to tracks. Where do you think you're going to be strongest in the calendar? Where are you most excited to be racing?
Probably Indianapolis, and that's because I haven't driven it that much, so I'm looking forward to it. I've been to the other tracks quite a few times, so yeah, not that many surprises there. But Indy looks fun. I've driven it not enough.
Awesome. Well, that will be our kickoff round. So you never know. You might win. You might even pull off that last to first. You never know.
Yeah, I'm keeping my hopes low now. Not trying to get my hopes up, because I know the guys are fast. So yeah, I'm sure you guys will have a lot of fun watching the races unfold, as I'm sure you had today, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I very much did.
Yeah, looking forward to it, definitely.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the P2. Never know, you might be back in 2 weeks' time on the top step.
Yep, that's the plan.
Awesome, mate. Thank you for coming and speaking to me. I'll let you get off now. Congratulations on the second place. You never know.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you, mate. In a bit. So that was Minea, the number 94 Porsche, come through second place in the race after a pole position start. Got caught up in that lap 1 drama. And now the final interview of the night. Radu Aruta. Yeah, hello. I have probably butchered your name, and I do apologize.
It's not that bad. It's honestly not that bad. I've heard worse, so it's fine.
I've done a thing. So, P3 in GT4 after a 4th place qualifying. So you gained a position.
Yep.
Did you get through that lap 1 drama without much drama, or were you sort of caught up in it as well?
Well, I kind of needed a change of underpants after T1, but but it was fine. Like I ended up P2 going into Maggots and Beckons, and then I overtook Tim at the right-hander of the straight. It was pretty fun. The first 15 minutes when it was wet, but then it took a while for me to progress from braking wet lines and all that kind of stuff to a fast track. So I lost a lot of time there.
I have to ask, it's not a car that I see very often, and now we have 2 of them. The GT4 R8, what is it about that car that's made you choose it?
I've driven it for a long time. I think, like Bogdan was saying, we've raced for a lot of seasons together. I think for the past year and a half, and I've ran it for about half a year, just because it feels comfortable for me and I got used to it. That's why.
And looking forward then, for the rest of the season, what tracks do you think that you're gonna be the strongest at, and what tracks do you think you might have to really stretch your legs out a bit?
Really stretching my legs out? It's gonna be Paul Ricard. Oh no, even better, Snetterton. I hate that track with passion. I just don't get it. But good track for the R8 might be Barcelona. Even better because it's wet. I do enjoy a wet race.
And I have to ask this, as it seems that GT4 Grid has enough pepperoni to make a small pizza. Who do you think out of the pepperoni cars is going to come out on top at the end of the season?
Well, it's either going to be Boggy, Tim, or Marek, actually. Because I don't know if you saw, but in the last lap, Marek had a spin. I just could not gain that 2.5 second gap. We were exactly on the same pace. So it's going to be either one of these three guys, honestly.
Well, that is going to be a very, very, I would say a very good battle. Probably an insane battle throughout the season between all of you guys. I mean, you guys have been pretty much nose to tail in sort of two distinct packs throughout the race, and it has been very, very, very good to watch. So thank you for kind of speaking to me. Congratulations on the P3. You never know, you might come back, might even come back with a win.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm looking forward for the next races. Righty, thank you.
Thank you, mate, and you too, mate. Later.
Bye.
And that rounds off our interviews with Radu Miruta coming in for final interview. For the people still watching the stream, here is the calendar. We kick off the main series on the 26th of February, 2 weeks from now, on the Sunday. Next week, over on the Racing Pals channel, this channel, you can join James Andrews for the live coverage of the next era of Formula Pals, now called Project A. The open wheel series with our own upgrade trees, where the teams will gain upgrade points throughout the season and make their cars progressively better, progressively faster, and you will then see maybe different teams take different directions, and you'll see some very, very good battles there, I'm sure. But until next time, I have been Husky. I will be back on the channel on the 26th of February for the first round at Indianapolis. And until then,